Welcome back to Drift America. In episode 4, we're going to be taking a trip down to Pikes Peak International Raceway in Fountain, Colorado for Drift Colorado Round 2. This 3-day event features a lot of fun and competition.
This episode's going to be a little bit different than our previous ones, as unfortunately my drift car is still not done, so it's going to be a little bit more of a vlog style format, but we wanted to take you to the track and show you all the fun action.
There's 3 sessions of open drift, including 2 night drift sessions, 2 different competitions, and a drift challenge on Sunday.
Wouldn't be Pikes Peak International Raceway if there wasn't a rainstorm right on the horizon of the track. Just over there.
This 3-day event brings people from all over the country to compete for $10,000 in prize money in the Group A shootout. This shootout really was a lot of fun to watch. The Group A cars are very fast and the drivers are very competitive. A lot of these cars make 600 plus horsepower and are fully caged, fully competitive, very well built drift cars that compete all over the country with drivers that are very talented. While those battles are very close and very exciting, the Group B battles are also very good. These Group B cars are more like what you drive on the street and do not feature cages. A lot of them don't have race seats, they don't have bash bars, they don't have fire suppression, and they're more just your average daily driven car that can compete. While they are a little bit down on performance compared to the Group A cars, they are very exciting to watch and the battles were very exciting as well. The Group B drivers had the unfortunate task of competing during a rainstorm and watching the track change and progress as it dried, but puddles remained, creating a very tricky track surface to figure out. There are certain areas that were very gripped up and then other areas where there was zero grip at all, so it made for a lot of challenges for the drivers.
Damage here, but it doesn't look much worse than the last time. Headlights already smashed, fenders already smashed.
After they wrapped up, Group A came out. The track was mostly dry, and those guys put on a fantastic show. Tons and tons of great battles, a few one-more-time battles. In Group A, the winner of the $5,000 big main check was Mike Pollard. He came down in his Nissan and just dominated the field. Steve Mass in his coyote-swapped Ford Mustang came in second place, followed by Austin Bartow in his BMW E36, followed by Ian McDougall in his Corvette. So we had a lot of good parity, a lot of good battles, a lot of excitement, and a lot of fun.
Mike Pollard. Nice driving. Sick little lanyard. Putting in work today, huh? Thank you.
It's beautiful. The rain's gone. I'm eating a cookie. Life's good.
Oh yeah.
He's got tires on the roof, tires in the trunk. What do you think about Steve's run?
Honestly, I just heard it and I wasn't really paying attention.
Nice.
I'm just gonna video.
That's gonna be great for the series.
After the competition wrapped up and we celebrated that, we decided to get into the night drift. And, before that, we ate a little bit of a track dinner, if you will, burgers and the hot dogs, chips, and potato salad and all the good stuff. And then we went out and did the night drifting. The night drifting is fun because it's just open drift. It's bash style, so everybody can just go out. You can drive with whoever you want to drive with. And we ran 6, 7, 8 car trains at times. Ran probably 40, 50 laps. And it was a lot of fun. Very hard to see sometimes with the smoke, but especially when you're following 4 or 5 other cars. We did have a little bit of minor damage, unfortunately, that did occur during some of the night drift situations. We had a couple cars come together multiple times, but nothing too major. We didn't have to bust out any of the spare parts or anything that we did have. Fortunately, everything was drivable. It was just cosmetics, bumpers, and fenders, and headlights, and stuff like that. So overall, pretty successful weekend. You're going to have the typical carnage. There were a couple cars that got pretty smashed up throughout the weekend, but for the most part, everything went really smoothly. Drifting under that semi-trailer was so much fun. It was so exciting, and it really added to the experience of it all. Pikes Peak International Raceway, and man, good times are had by all out here. Let's see. The first thing we did when we got to the track was figure out a good place to set up our campsite. We always like to try to find an area that's close to kind of the track entrance and exit as far as going on and off the track. It's nice to be closer to that if possible. And so we try to always find a good spot there, a good spot that's well lit, that has power, stuff like that. Especially if you have an RV, you need to reserve those spots so you can have power at the track. But we got a really good location, and we were all able to camp together and grill together and cook together, and it was a lot of fun. Started getting everything set up, get all the wheels and tires set up. My friends from South Dakota, they traveled 8 or 9 hours to get here. So they really wanted to be prepared, so they brought everything that they needed. Spare parts for the car, tons and tons of wheels and tires. I think they each brought 12 or 16 plus tires for each car for the weekend, and they used them all. Tires. More tires. Get them mounted up. We used every tire that we brought out there, and we used all the fuel we brought, and fortunately just didn't use all the spare parts. I think we even drank all the beer and ate all the hot dogs. So it was quite an eventful weekend. We had a great time. The best thing about these multi-day events is that you can hang out with your friends that you don't get to see often. A lot of these friends in the community you only see at the track, and we have a 2 or 3 day event. Really kind of gives you some time to hang out with them outside of just being on track. So we really had a nice time, had a nice bonfire, and stayed up way too late. But overall it was great. The weather was a little bit tricky at times because we dealt with very hot conditions where, you know, we're drinking all the water that we have and all the Gatorades, and then turned into a cold, you know, kind of mosquito-filled night session. So with all the rain and the cooler temperatures, it was good to have all of that cold weather gear and your jeans and your coats and stuff, because, you know, it's a desert. You're going to be going from 95 degrees down to, you know, 45 degrees some nights. But overall, we had a great time. Didn't get enough sleep, but we did everything we wanted to do. The adrenaline was flowing the entire weekend. Good smiles and vibes were had by all. And it was just a great time. So I can't wait to go out to round 3. My car's still in the works, so I'll have a follow-up on that soon. But until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the track.